Welcome to episode 43, the actual episode 43. I had to go back and count. It's the Richard Petty episode here on the Flag to Flag podcast, or the Eric Jones episode. I don't know why it would be Eric Jones either way.
It's Petty.
It's Petty by a long shot. This is John, the motorsports enthusiast, not Chad. And then with me is actual Chad Barker. Buddy, you're in a different location today.
When am I not in a different location? I feel like every episode we should have a game like guess where Chad's at this week. I am in beautiful Kannapolis, North Carolina, birthplace of both Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Dale Earnhardt Jr. I'm actually less than a mile away from the Dale Earnhardt Sr. statue.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've never been. I want to go.
Yeah, but I'm currently at the race-driven performance Legends and Bandolero car shop. We had a little bit of work we got to do this morning before we head out to finish up round 6 and start round 7. I think that's right, of the 2025 Cookout Summit. Dude, I have been going 100 miles an hour. Like, all the racing is just blending together at this point.
Together, yeah.
Like, I drove from northwestern Ohio over to, I'm also filming this off my phone, if that tells you anything. I drove from northwestern Ohio all the way to the eastern side of Pennsylvania. Was there for a few days, announced the dirt race, drove from there through the night to North Carolina, was here for a few days, was back home for a few days in Nashville, then drove from Nashville to... Who is this? Oh, it's someone just turning around. Someone pulled into the shop, and I was like, who is this?
Like, who are you? What are you doing here?
I was like, I know that's not one of our cars, but anyway. So then we go, then I flew from North Carolina to Indianapolis, was in Indianapolis for like 4 or 5 days, flew back here, and then tomorrow I'm driving back to Nashville.
That's wild. You're a crazy man. You're all over the place.
You're just now realizing that?
No, I've known for a while. I'm just want to let you
reiterating. But yeah,
that's awesome. That's wild, dude.
We might have some. I'm in my car. I'm at the shop. I'm kind of separate. We might have some guests come up and say hey. Some might be homeless.
Fine.
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, the more homeless, the better on the podcast. We support everybody as long as they can give us a racing opinion. What? Wow. So what I'm hearing is Chad doesn't like homeless people, guys.
Not homeless people.
That's what you said.
Whatever. All right, let's just get into it, man.
All right.
Well, that's all I'm doing. First off, John, how are you doing? You have been very busy these past few weeks. Good busy. Busy is always good.
Busy always is good. Busy is always good. So yeah, working a lot of stuff going on. Happy to let you know I will be fixing the lawnmower. Did I tell you I got it actually started and running and going? And I ordered tires. I got front tires for it. I'm going to put it on this afternoon. Hopefully I'll be able to cut the yard soon.
Look at John being a handyman.
You think that's a surprise? You take that as I'm insulted. I'm insulted right now, Chad. Because you don't think I can do yard work. I can work on lawnmowers. I'm not handy. I love doing that stuff.
I know you do. I know you do. That's why I got to bring you out here to the shootout.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot of stuff about. Okay, is it a homeless person?
I don't know, but he's carrying his shoes. He's not actively wearing them.
Is it Gertie?
It's not Gertie, believe it or not. It's not Gertie, but
we've mentioned our friend Gertie on the show. It's a guy who doesn't wear shoes anywhere, shoes or socks. Hey, it's his own thing. It's cool. But no, it's been good. I got my Cinedust shirt. Gotta love this Cinedust shirt, dude.
That is a sick ass shirt.
It's one of my favorite items. Like
I got a shirt yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I got the 2025 Summer Shootout shirt.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
So yeah, I had to go pick up a few parts at the parts trailer. Picked up a shirt while I was there. But yeah, well, man, let's get right into it. We have been gone for a few weeks,
Yes,
life.
We have.
But we have a lot of fun stuff. Starting off with IndyCar, I think our last episode we talked about Detroit.
Yeah, we talked about we got to back this up quite a bit because we talked about Detroit, but we've had 3 races since then. We've had Worldwide Tech, we've had Road America, and we've had Mid-Ohio, with Kirkwood, Palou, and Scott Dixon winning the last three, Mid-Ohio being the most recent. I think we really need to talk about Mid-Ohio, because the big thing here is Alex Palou is not perfect. He's not an alien. He is human. He made a mistake. I don't know if you saw, but he made a mistake and got Scott Dixon the win. And Scott Dixon ran an amazing race, phenomenal race. But it shows you how on edge not only Palou is, but how on edge Dixon was all race long, and how one little mistake in one little corner, boom, your race is done. But Scott Dixon, I think it's something where he's won one race every season for the last like 21 seasons.
Something like that, yeah.
It's something crazy.
It's an insane number, yeah.
It's wild. It's wild. And the thing is like, okay, he's obviously a 6-time champ. He's one of the best that we've seen in a car. What does this do for his legacy? I mean, from just an overall sporting perspective. Imagine being in the sport for 21 years. You've won 21 years in a row. You have 6 championships. Where does he sit in this GOAT talk? You know what I mean? Like, he's good. He's good.
He is, and it is difficult to do that conversation, but it's difficult to talk about that with any conversation, all right? Let's take the NASCAR GOAT conversation, okay? All right? Whenever you talk about the Mount Rushmore of NASCAR, all right? There's 3 heads that automatically pop up there, all right? Petty, Earnhardt, Johnson, all right? The only 3 guys. But here's the thing. You put Richard Petty in his prime in one of today's cars,
he'd be
but
terrible.
then I don't know if he'd be terrible. I don't know. But then you take Jimmy Johnson in one of today's cars. You put Jimmy Johnson in an Earnhardt era car or a Petty era car. How would he perform? Right. Going back to IndyCar, you put Scott Dixon in an Al Unser era car or a Mario Andretti era car.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right, like
he's one of the best of this generation. And I think that's what we have to. And game's got to respect game in that aspect, because it's hard to judge.
In racing as a whole, when you ask someone who is the greatest of all time, in my opinion, there are 2 answers to that question. 1, there isn't one. And 2, Mario Andretti.
For sure. No, I had this discussion the other day. Yeah, I said Mario Andretti just because what he's won in multiple different
versatility.
Disciplines. Yeah, exactly. There hasn't been anything like that. And I mean, and that's where I think you have to look at that, even though there was a very different era back then. But again, he's won on all levels. I mean, literally all levels. The top 3
He's won USAC championships on dirt. He's won Formula One World Championships. He's won NASCAR races. He's won IndyCar championships. I mean, you got to look at that. But when we look at someone like Scott Dixon, obviously he's got to be up there because of having a win every year for the past 20 plus years, but also being a disruptor here. All right, it has been the Kirkwood Palou, arguably just the Palou show with a sideshow of Kirkwood.
Right.
All right, and then here comes Scott Dixon. So it really is interesting to see. It really doesn't shake up the championship points that much. Speaking of championship points, someone who I don't even want to look at championship points wise is Newgarden.
Oh boy. I cannot believe. So I turned on the race right as the green flag was going.
With which race?
IndyCar. And I saw a car spin, and I was like, there is no damn way that I just saw a blue and white car spin. And I looked, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. This dude, we need to talk to him. We got to talk to him about something.
We got to have a sit down here, bud.
We got to have a sit down because we got to figure out what's going on. I mean, he said the rear's locked up and it was such a bizarre thing, but he has had 5 races in a row where he's had some kind of problem, whether it's been a wreck, whether it's been some kind of mechanical issue. He's just, I mean, it's rough. It's bad. I hate it.
Let's go back to the Indy 500. All right, we were at that race from the back all the way up to 5th.
Yeah.
All right. With potential. I mean, like, there was a moment where I was like, we might see history here.
Exactly.
All right? Fuel pump goes out. Okay. I've had that happen to me in races before. All right. There's nothing you can do. They just go bad. All right? Now, looking at Detroit. Finished 9th. Top 10 finish. Completed all 100 laps. You know? Not the best point day. All right. Now, let's go to Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Oh, he launched himself over a car.
Leading the race. All right. Louis Foster gets into the wall. Looks like he's about to gather it up. Newgarden had nowhere to go. Launches himself over the wall. All right. Team Penske. Scott McLaughlin, 24th. Joseph Newgarden, 25th. Will Power, 27th that race.
Yeah, it's rough. Penske's had a terrible year all around.
Penske has had a rough year this year. All right, now, let's go to the Expel Grand Prix, Road America. Joseph Newgarden, 25th. He went out and admitted it. That was his own mistake.
Yeah, he just went wide. All
right, now, lap 1, turn 2.
Not even. He was on the front straight. He was on the
front stretch.
He barely crossed the start line.
27th out of 27. Joseph Newgarden. 5 points. And it is rough, and we're looking at Newgarden because we're Newgarden fans and whatnot. Y'all know that by now. But let's look. Currently 19th in the point standings. All right. I'll have this ready for next week after our 2 races at Iowa, which we will be giving our one race?
Yep.
My apologies. But I will have this set up to where we know like who is still in contention for a championship here.
Excuse me, 2 races. My bad.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure it's 2 races. The 12th and 13th.
I got the tracks mixed up. I was like, why the heck are we going to the Milwaukee
Milwaukee only has 1 race.
Yeah,
Nashville only has 1 race.
Messed me up. Yeah. So, 2 races.
Yeah.
So.
But going back to the championship standings here, Palou Kirkwood. Palou currently has a 113-point lead.
Yep.
With, let me look and make sure my numbers are correct here, with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races left.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, Kirkwood's going to need about 5 really good races, and Palou's going to need about 5 really bad races.
But Palou is going to have some, he's going to have some pretty decent issues. He's going to have Newgarden level issues for this to kind of flip on its head. I really believe. It's just, unfortunately that's where we are. But I think this week, looking at this, we're going to an oval. Palou won an Indy, but he did not win at Worldwide Tech.
Well, let's also talk about this. He won at Indy.
Yeah.
That is a different animal.
Correct.
All right, that is IndyCar's version of super speedway racing. I want to make sure we put that out there.
So he can be beaten on ovals. I'm doing some research. Click, clack, click.
A little bit, yeah.
Clickety clack. But we got 2 races this weekend, and so the question is, can Palou win 1, or are we going to see? I have 2 drivers in mind for this weekend, and I'll wait for that until we give our picks. But there are 2 drivers in my head right now that I'm looking at this weekend that I think could win both races. I think both could finish 1, 2 in both of them. So I don't think it's going to be Palou though. That's
really?
I don't think it's going to be Palou. No. Mm-mm.
That is all right. Well, we're going to an oval track.
Yep.
So whenever you go to an oval track, you got to think about Penske. Except for this year. Let me go back. Let me go back and look at this. All right. 23rd, 24th, and 26th. It was 24th, 25th, and 27th were the finishes at Gateway. Let's go to what is it? Indianapolis 500. All right. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Where is he?
What are you looking at?
I'm looking. Scott McLaughlin. All right. 30th at the Indianapolis 500.
Yep.
Joseph Newgarden, 22nd
Dixon.
Willpower 16th.
Oh yeah, willpower. Excuse me.
This is all oval racing.
Yep.
Okay. I know we always say when we go to an oval we can't count out Penske. Do we have to count out Penske?
I don't know. It's where okay. Where is your mind going to go? Because I think since we're talking about this, I think we have to give our picks because
Well, I believe yes we have to give our picks, but I also want to look at something else here.
okay.
All right.
Okay, let's look at it.
On the final sheet, Penske had a horrible day at Worldwide Tech.
Yep.
The actual race itself, if that one thing did not happen, could we have seen a Newgarden in victory lane? Could we have seen a Penske in victory lane? I think so. I think Penske has the speed at
They definitely do.
oval tracks. They don't have the luck.
Yeah, their horseshoe is not on their side. They do not have a lucky horseshoe right now. So,
No, it is not.
So, what are you saying? What are you saying, Chad? What are you saying, Chad?
It's hard.
Oh boy, he wants to do it. I know you want to do it.
I want to pick a. I mean,
I know you want
let's
to.
let's look at last year's races. All right. Look at the last year's races at Iowa. All right. Who were the two winners at Iowa last year?
I think it wasn't it McLaughlin.
Race 1, Scott McLaughlin. Race 2, two Penske cars.
Willpower, yeah.
I want to go Penske. I want to go a Penske car.
But
you know what? I'm going to take a massive shot in the dark here. Massive shot in the dark. One of the two races, I'm going to kind of do like a combined pick.
Okay.
One of the two races. I don't know what order it will be. But I believe. I don't know if I really want to go this. You know what? I'm going to do it. Penske 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow, that's bold. Not surprising, but I think it's bold.
I think one of the races, Pelot might sneak up in there. Who knows? Dixon might sneak up in there. But I think it's going to be a Pelot. Or I think it's going to be a Penske 1, 2, 3.
Who would win the race, though? If it's a 1, 2, 3 Penske, who is going to win, though?
I think it's McLaughlin. I think McLaughlin's hungrier for it.
Okay, so you're going Penske 1, 2, 3, and then maybe a Pelot in the other race. Those are your official picks. Wow. Okay.
Honestly, any of them with podiums is how I.
Which makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Let's look at Indianapolis even. All right? Newgarden was charging up there. Arguably one of the fastest cars on track.
Right.
All right? We have no clue how Scotty Mack was going to do because of what happened to him. I have a funny story about Scotty Mack. He's been racing the shootout, and I got a funny story for you once we're done here.
Fantastic. Like, you're going to tell me on this, you're going to share live or no?
No. I'm not going to share this live.
Oh, ha ha ha.
That is for the viewers to be curious about.
Got some tea.
Yes, I do. Tea. But yeah, so that's who I'm kind of thinking. I mean, Penske owns the ovals.
Yep.
They don't own the luck.
Correct.
That is the difficult part with this right now.
They're just getting a payback from the universe for cheating at Indy. I'm kidding. I mean, maybe. Who knows?
I will tell you the same thing I told that woman who came up and started chirping at me at Indy. All right? You remember that? I turned around. I said, tear down every damn car on the grid. Guarantee you'll find one thing illegal on each one of them.
Fair.
But yeah. All right. Who are your picks? Who are your picks for the Sync 275 at Iowa Speedway and the Farm to Finish 275 at Iowa?
Yep. So the same two drivers I picked at Worldwide Tech. Same two drivers. Now I don't know if they're going to be. I have both of them winning. I think they could win. I think both of them definitely could get a top three. I think in both races they are going to both finish in the top three in both races. Newgarden and Pato. I think Newgarden could get one. I think Pato could get one. Pato came in P2 at Worldwide Tech. I think that it could have been the Pato Newgarden show. I think Newgarden could go for the double here. I think he could win both races. but I think Newgarden and Pato O'Ward
Yeah.
will not finish outside of the top 3 in both races. I think both of them will be up there battling the whole race long. I think Newgarden is going to want to come back and win at least one. I think this is where his luck starts to turn around. Hopefully, it seems like when I pick Newgarden, he wrecks. When I don't pick Newgarden, he wrecks. So it doesn't really matter who I pick.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ride Newgarden. I'm going to ride a Newgarden train. I'm going to ride a Pato train this weekend. And I will argue that, well, no, I'm going to say, yeah, they'll both finish in the top 3 in both races. And I think one of them or both of them will win. So those are my picks.
I don't blame you. Those are good picks.
That.
All right. Well, let's move on now to Formula One.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna let John drive on this one because he's been more. You've been more involved with it than I have. So June and July are my very busy months where I'm running 100 mile an hour. Like the fact, someone's getting pulled over like right in front of the shop. Not even joking.
Not good. No bueno.
Oh, that is an undercover. That is an undercover Chevy Camaro.
Oh, that is badass.
That is kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie.
That's my favorite car.
But yeah, you have one.
An undercover? I'm an undercover cop now. That'd be great. No, that would be kind of cool. Put some sirens on it.
First thing I think we got to talk about, which I don't want you to talk too much about, because I said I was going to and I never did.
You never went to the movie, did you?
No, because I got called to come to the shop and work instead. I was like, okay, that's fair. I haven't been to the F1 movie. John's been twice.
I'm going for a third time on Saturday.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm going with a couple friends.
What time?
F1. We haven't made a plan.
Okay, because weather's not looking hot in Nashville, so if my plans get canceled, I might join in on you with that.
Okay, I'll let you know, because we haven't talked about it. It's still way up in the air. It may
Jesse's
be like
gone to see it.
He has.
I don't know if Lindsay's gone to see it.
She needs to. She needs to.
So
right, yeah, we can talk about the F1 movie really quick. Cinematically,
no spoilers, please. No spoilers, please, for me or for anyone else who hasn't seen it.
Cinematically, fantastic movie. I thought the storyline was still decent. I mean, it is a very well done movie, and there might be some inaccuracies with just some of the caution things that happen, but overall, there's a lot of. I think that after looking back and doing more research into the movie, doing more research into F1 history, there's a lot of nods to previous things that have happened. There's a lot of commentary that is built for the new fan, which I love. I think it's great. Opening scene, still probably one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever, just because of the song choice and what is happening. So literally got chills.
That's the 24-hour Daytona, right?
That is correct. The Rolex
I saw
24.
something. I saw
badass.
something about a movie inaccuracy here. So it said that, like, what's his name? Sonny Hayes, is that his name?
Yep.
Got into the car at 24 hours of Daytona at like 11:50 something.
Yep.
And as he was out there driving, there were fireworks going off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently a fan noticed that is inaccurate because every year at the 24 hours of Daytona, fireworks go off at 10. But I don't know. I'm a nerd for that kind of stuff. I think it's cool.
Whether it goes up at 12, whether it goes up at 10, I mean, again, I think the people, you can't treat it like a documentary. It's not going to be perfect, but I have to go and fact check that number because I don't know exactly if it is 10 or if it actually is 12. Because I thought it was 12. Might just be me. I have to go back and look at that. Either way, love the movie. Going to go see it again. Fantastic movie. I'm not going to say really much else about it because I would dive too deep into the storyline. But I do want to let's talk about F1. We got to talk about F1. So looking back at the last 3 races, we have Russell winning in Canada. Austria was Lando Norris, and so was Great Britain. I think we just need to talk about kind of this past weekend's race. So Nico Hulkenberg, first podium of his career. Fantastic race. Fantastic. I wore green yesterday. I'm not going to wear green today because Cinnadust is better. But
It really
I
is.
mean,
It really is.
I have a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch sitting on my counter right now. I'm about to go munch on after this. I should have used it for this episode.
Have you ordered the diecast?
No, I won't. I'm kind of waiting to see if there's going to be some in stores. I haven't got it yet. I want to get it. So I might buy it. But where we are with F1, it's still the McLaren show. McLaren's driving away with everything. You're seeing Ferrari have some good improvements recently, and it looks like Mercedes can kind of be there at times. But overall, McLaren is still where they're still at the top of the boards. And I think with Lando's win this past weekend, which was really because Oscar shot himself in the foot with that penalty that he got, it would still be a bigger Oscar Piastri championship run. I think that little mistake from Oscar isn't going to cost him a championship. I think that it's going to further his ability to overcome these issues. But I mean, looking at the last three races, you had Russell, Verstappen, Antonelli on the podium at Canada. You had Norris, Piastri, Leclerc on the podium in Austria, and then in Great Britain you had Norris, Piastri, Hulkenberg. And so we don't have another race for like 3 weeks. We go to Spa end of the month, and I think the bigger discussion is, okay, what is happening now with Max Verstappen? Because there's a lot of questions about if he's going to stay at Red Bull, if he's going to go to Mercedes. There's a lot of rumors going around right now that there's already been contract discussions. We don't know. We have no clue what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But the question, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, everyone's like, well, no, he wouldn't go, he's so loyal to, Red Bull. He wouldn't go to Mercedes or anything. We saw Hamilton go from a team that won him, I think, like 5 or 6 drivers' championships, has won the constructors' championships 8 years in a row. All right? But now, looking at the point standings, 4th, George Russell and Mercedes. 5th, Leclerc. 6th, Hamilton. 7th, Antonelli.
Yep.
That switch really didn't do much for him. And if we go to the team standings here,
Ferrari actually is ahead because of this
by
past
12
race.
points.
Yeah, it was because of this last race, because Antonelli finished outside the points. So, or didn't finish. And so, I think right now, I think the question is like, who would be replaced? Because you have Mercedes that has put a lot of stock into George Russell. You have Mercedes that is going to put a lot of stock in Kimi Antonelli. Who gets to switch? Are we going to see George Russell drive a Red Bull? Are we going to see Max Verstappen fill Antonelli's shoes? I mean, it's a very tough decision, because you know how loyal Toto Wolff has been to George Russell, and then Kimi Antonelli is like another son to him. So like, if you do try to get Max, which Max is still the best skill. I mean, still the best driver on the grid. I think him and Lewis, I think, are top 2. Who do you get rid of? Who's gone? Like, it's such a tough decision.
That is a tough decision to make. I mean, we look at some of these drivers' lineups. At this point, we could see Sainz go back into a Red Bull. We could see, there's a bunch of different things that could come at play here. And George and Kimi, their relationship with Toto is very good. And I don't know if that will be changing anything at all. This could be a thing where, Max could leave Red Bull and go somewhere else.
Could.
We don't entirely know what's going to be going on. We don't know what the conversations are like at closed doors. You saw what his media day was like.
Right. Yeah.
Which was insane.
Yeah. Could we? Here's a thought. Okay. Adrian Newey goes to Aston Martin. I don't think Lance Stroll would get the boot, but
he won't. And the only other person who is within all of that is, Chris is here.
Hi, Chris.
He might stop by and say, "Hey, I don't know," but yeah. Stroll wouldn't get the boot. Alonso's still too much of a hot commodity to not pass up on. Because
Right.
here's what we have at Aston Martin right now. We've got
Oh, your video has
Oh.
gone away. Chad has disappeared. Now he's back.
There you go. That was my phone telling me I only have 20% battery left. Okay.
Oh, we need to go. We need to go.
Yes, we do. But we've got someone like Lance Stroll who's still young, has a chance at becoming something. Who am I kidding? We've got someone like Fernando Alonso who has the experience. We've got someone like Adrian Newey who has the experience and the brains.
Right.
All right. Who knows? I mean, if we have Fernando Alonso, Adrian Newey, and Max Verstappen all on the same team,
oh boy,
that'd be a hell of a team.
That's
I got that wrong. It wasn't an undercover Camaro. It was an undercover Mustang.
Oh shoot! Wow, you don't know your cars. What the hell?
Well, it was also like 100 yards down the street. So
you're blind.
Yes.
With you. No, I think, kind of thinking about this more, it makes more sense for George to leave, or George to be replaced by Max. Because
really,
if you get rid of Kimi, you have two number ones. Kimi Antonelli learning from Max Verstappen. Watch out. George goes to Red Bull. Could perform well.
Yeah.
I mean, could be a good swap. I think that could be the most realistic swap. But who knows? Who knows? But I think right now, it's a question. Is he going to stay? Is he going to leave? If he does leave, where is he going to go? That's a big question for Formula One. So, that's a hot topic. That's a hot topic right now.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari has kind of started this whole discussion. Okay, you're never secure. I mean, there have been big driver changes throughout the history of all sports, but I think, with Lewis now doing this, I mean, we thought Lewis was going to stay there till he was, like Fernando. I thought he was going to be like as old as Fernando when he was at, going same with Mercedes forever. So the question is, where does Max go? Because Max is still young, dude. Max can still race 15 more seasons. Like it's ridiculous. His upside's wild on this. So
it really is, and it's not like a Hamilton where, let's be honest here, Hamilton's getting up there in age. All right?
Yep.
He's getting up there in age. He's been in this sport for a long time, longer than I've been watching Formula One. He's been, and then we look at someone like Fernando Alonso, he's been in here even longer.
Yeah.
All right? So, Verstappen, he still has a lot of time left in the sport. All right?
If he decides to stay.
If he decides, all right, and here's the thing, looking at a younger Lewis Hamilton, who made the switch from McLaren to Mercedes, everyone thought that was the dumbest decision in the world at the time. It ended up being the best damn decision of his career.
Right. I mean, like, how funny would it be if, like, Mercedes becomes this team where, like, all of the future GOATs go to and just start knocking off championships? Because could we see the same story starting to happen? I mean, Max has obviously been in Red Bull for much longer than Lewis was at McLaren. We obviously know that. But the upside that Max has is just his racing pedigree is insane.
Yeah.
I think he could do well in Mercedes. I think he could do well. But
I do too.
I don't know where your phone's at, but I think we need to start talking about NASCAR because we have.
Well, before we do that, I think we need to do our local racing report.
Go. Let's do it.
And we are going to the great state, the largest state in the United States. Do you know what that is?
I'm assuming Texas.
No.
Or California.
No.
What's the largest state in the U.S.?
Alaska.
Oh, okay. You got to preface that. You should have said continental United States, not 50 states, because that's a trick question. That's a trick question.
Trick question. Just use your head. All right. We have the late models, baby grands. I don't know if you've ever seen a baby grand race, but they are insane. Late model baby grands, legends, bomber stock, which I think is their front wheel drives, and bandoleros. So, late model A, Maine, third place, Hunter Mayer. Started third, came home third in the number 21. Started first, came home second. The number 53 was Jeremy Copley, and started second, come home first in the number 19, taking home the late model feature win, Justin Christensen. Heading on to our baby grands. Started third, finished third in the number 3 car, Stephen Angle. Started second, finished second. The number 5 was Sean Norman. And started first, came home with the baby grand feature win in the number 31, Tanya Wilson. Now for our legend cars. You know I love me some legend cars. Started fourth, came home third. The number 53 was Steve Page. Started second, came home second. The number 44 was Ty Torklinson. And started first, came home first. The number -4, Wyatt Flowers.
Wait, what?
Bomber stock.
-4?
His number is -4. We have a driver at the shootout right now who he's originally from Alaska, and his number is -34.
What? Okay.
That's just how they do it.
Okay.
But now, heading on to the bomber stock. Started second, came home third, and the number 32 was Richard Bogan. Started seventh, came home second. The number 44 was David Strickland. And started first, came home with the bomber stock feature win, and the number 3, Aiden Zingler. Now for the Mann Family Dental Bandoleros. Started third, came home third, and the number 32 was Kaylee White. Started fourth, came home second. The number 95 was Isaiah Johnson. And coming home, or finished, started second, came home first in the Mann Family Dental Bandoleros feature, number 20, Jacob Gully. If you would like your local short track shouted out on the Flag to Flag podcast, email flagtoflag10@gmail.com or hit us up on any of our social media channels. Listen out for those at the end of the episode. Make sure you go out to your local short track this weekend and bring a friend. This week's Flag to Flag at the track will be Friday, practice at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Saturday morning, Music City Quarter Midget Racing Association. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Monday, practice at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round 8 of the summer shootout. And finally, on Tuesday, will be Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Charlotte Motor Speedway for round 8 of the 2025 Cookout Summer Shootout.
Very nice. Very nice.
But now let's get on to NASCAR.
Yeah, let's talk about good old NASCAR. So we've been out of it for a second here. So kind of recapping the last few races. Denny Hamlin won in Michigan, and then you had Shane Van Gisbergen win in Mexico. Chase Briscoe win at Pocono. Atlanta, oh my gosh, Atlanta. Oh boy. Best track, one of the best tracks on the circuit. Chase Elliott there. And this past weekend, SVG just cements how good of a driver he is on road courses and wins at Chicago. And so looking at where we're going this weekend, we are going to Sonoma. And when you look at Sonoma, it's been a very interesting race the last few years. Whoever has won this is another trend. This is my first trend for the day. The last 3 winners that have won at Sonoma, the manufacturer has also won at Circuit of the America the last 3 years. So this year it was a Toyota. Last year was a Chevy. In 2023 it was a Toyota. 2022 was a Chevy. Another trend that I noticed, listen, this is kind of crazy. In 2022, the same team won Circuit of the America and Sonoma. In 2024, the same team won Circuit of the America and Sonoma. So every other year it alternates. So this year, Christopher Bell won at Circuit of the Americas. Could be a Toyota day. Is it going to be a Joe Gibbs driver? We don't know. But looking at where we are right now at the standings, Chad, this is the crazy part about how this playoff system works. You know who's sitting P5 right now in the standings, Chad?
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
I'm not looking at it. Never mind.
In the championship playoff standings.
Oh, in the playoff standings. My bad.
SVG is sitting 5th. P5. Ahead of a previous champion. Ahead of 2 previous champions. Ahead of 3 previous champions.
And do you want to know what the really
wild?
You want to know what the wild thing is? And so his 2 wins this year have came on road courses. Do you want to know what's really wild? What? We have 2 road courses in the playoffs.
We do. Oh. What are the 2? We have Roval and the Glen?
The Glen's in the playoffs, right?
I thought it was just the Roval. I thought the Glen was towards the back end of the season. I thought it was like 3 or 4 races to go.
No, my apologies. You're correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So we
Watkins
have.
Glen isn't until August, yeah. Oh, Shoeless
So
Guy's back.
oh, shoeless guy.
Yeah,
Hello,
he's got a
shoeless guy.
hat now and a bag for
Oh,
his shoes.
great.
So
Hey,
good for
got it.
him.
Got to carry the shoes. Got to respect the shoe game. So the question is, Chad, can SVG rack up enough playoff points over the next 2 road courses to build up enough gap to where he can make it to the round of 8 and potentially lock himself into the championship 4? I think it's there. I think there is a path for Shane Van Gisbergen to be in the
I'm going to say
championship 4,
this.
dude.
I'm going to say this.
Bro,
No.
well, you're just a Debbie Downer.
Well, let's be honest here. He's got some work to do on the ovals.
He does, but if you look at the ovals that he's performed well at, one of them is Darlington, which is the round of 16, right? And I guess Charlotte is actually the last race of the round of 12. So I think he does have a path to the round of 8. I don't know if he has a path to the championship 4.
Can I say something real quick?
Yep, go ahead.
I think Darlington should either be the last race before the playoffs or the last race in a round of the playoffs.
Oh, for sure.
With how that track races, I think it'd be better to be an elimination or like a cutoff race.
I wholeheartedly agree with that because it's too good of a race. The racing's too good. The track's too good. It's too iconic for just to be the first race of the playoffs. I think you need to move Daytona back to the 4th of July and move Darlington to the last race of the season. I think those are the 2 big things there. So I want to ask, I'm curious though. Right now, looking at where we are in the points and in the standings, knowing who has won on road courses, who is your championship pick? Who's your championship pick right now? Because I think it's kind of a big crapshoot at the moment because we've seen a lot of different winners. Christopher Bell's kind of fallen off a little bit. You know, he had a really hot streak and then he's kind of just faded.
Has he fallen off or is he just saving his stuff till the playoffs?
That's another great
Let's
point.
be honest here. I mean, like, we see it all the time. We've seen it from Joey Logano. The past 2 championships he's won. Wins a race, slags off for the rest of the regular season, saves his stuff, comes out into the playoffs swinging.
Yep.
All right? So, you have to think about that. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Bell. And this is, honestly, he's my pick to win this week, but he's also my pick for the championship. I'm just going to be honest.
Oh, C. Bell, back to, okay.
Christopher Bell, I want to be, not just a championship for the champion, as I am now at 10% battery.
Oh, we gotta start going, dude. 10% battery is 42 minutes. Okay, so you're picking C-Bell to win the championship and C-Bell to win this weekend.
And Sonoma, yeah, I am.
That's wild work.
And do you want to know who my backup pick is
for the championship or this weekend?
For this weekend.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Is it a Chevy?
It is.
Is it Elliott?
It is not.
Oh, Larson.
No. That's a good pick, but no.
Bush.
No.
Byron?
No.
Who else is good on road courses that's in a Chevy? Bowman?
No.
Who is it?
He just announced that he will not be returning to the same team next year.
Suarez? Oh, no, he's not winning. Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
I think Suarez can get it done, man.
Let me say, I think he'll have a top 10 day. I don't know if he'll win the race. I don't know if the car's there. I mean, he's won here before. I know. I mean, that's a big thing. It just, I don't know. I think okay. No, I'll respect that. I'll respect that because it's a solid pick. Solid pick. Okay, so you're going C-Bell. You're going C-Bell. I think a Toyota will win. I think it's going to come from 2311.
Ooh, which one?
But it's not going to be Bubba Wallace. Tyler Reddick is going to win this race. I think.
That's what I was thinking. I think Tyler Reddick's got a good shot to win this one.
Tyler Reddick is these are my official picks. Tyler Reddick win or top 3. I think he could win. Chris Buescher top 3. Got to rep the guy. Ty Gibbs top 10 because you got to throw Ty Gibbs into the discussions, dude. People are disrespecting on Ty Gibbs' talent.
I don't want to throw him into the discussions, but you have to at this point.
Have to.
He's starting to perform.
At road courses and street courses, he finished P2. I mean, like, this dude can adapt. He can race. He knows how to run these road courses.
Speaking of Chicago.
Then Michael McDowell top 10. Those are my picks. Either way, go ahead, yes. Chicago.
I've seen the video of Cody Ware's crash.
Bro. Oh, God.
That should have been a damn caution.
Denny Hamlin said it, too, on his podcast. Denny Hamlin said the same thing on Accidents Detrimental. I mean, when I saw that, like, from the you're talking about the side shot, right? With the
Yes,
fan,
like from the stands.
bro.
Yes.
That car, I don't know what the G-force levels were on that hit. That thing had to have been 50 Gs. I mean, dude went
Without
90 miles an hour to a dead stop. Is there a calculator out there? Can we calculate this? Because, like, G-force impact calculator, because that is impact the force of a collision. Let's see. Do I know the velocity? I don't know the mass. What's a cup car weigh in pounds? Is it 3,500?
Hold on.
I think it's 35.
Oh shit! Hold on. Probably should turn my internet back on. Be a good idea. A NASCAR Cup Series car, including the driver and fuel, must weigh a minimum of 3,400 pounds. So put 3,400 just so we can get like a minimum for this.
3,400 pounds. I don't know what 2.66 MN is, but that's what this came up to. I don't know what that means in G-force.
Hold on.
Millinewtons to gram force. Hold on. Here we go. 2.6. I don't know.
I got you.
That's wrong. I don't even know. Either way, the G-forces
a lot.
wreck
A lot.
were
a lot.
A lot.
That's the answer. A lot.
I'm just like, guys, throw the caution. I mean, I know there's a lot of discussion about, like, NASCAR didn't know, or maybe NASCAR did know, or they didn't want to throw it because of the rain was coming in. They didn't want it to be another green-white checker, and they didn't want it to be a crapshoot and all this different stuff.
Okay.
Brother went 100 miles an hour into a wall.
This was a safety issue.
Dude went 100 miles an hour into a wall and did a dead stop. The caution should have been thrown sooner. No question about it. They should have done that for that other wreck with Josh Berry, where he kind of got it back going and didn't, and they waited 2 minutes and 9 seconds. I freaking counted. I understand you want to get drivers to turn back around and get them back into the race. Sure. But 2 minutes when a car is stopped on the track? Come on. Like, just use your brains. Use the brain that you have. Like, my argument was, imagine if Cody Ware would have lost his, which it probably wouldn't have happened just because of the brake pressure. Imagine if he would have lost his brakes going into 7, the corner afterwards. He would have been head-on incident right into Josh Berry, and that looks way worse.
Yeah,
so
it does.
That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on that.
It does.
Kind of rough. So you're going, okay. So I'm
going Bell.
You're going Bell and any Penske, basically. No. You said McLaughlin.
Wait. Oh no, wait. Bell and any Penske. Let's go with that. Let's play the safer option.
If you had to pick one, you said McLaughlin, right?
McLaughlin first, Newgarden second.
Okay.
Like first race, second race.
Oh, so McLaughlin, Newgarden, Christopher Bell. Interesting. I'll go Newgarden, Pato, Tyler Reddick. Those are my 3 picks. Okay.
All right.
Well, folks, those races are going on this weekend. Really quick before we hop off, we will let you know what time those races are going to be going on. I'll let you know here in just a second as I pull up my calendar. On July 12th, which is Saturday at 4 p.m., you have the Sync 275. I believe that is Eastern time. And then that's IndyCar. And then on Sunday, July 13th, you have the Farm to Fresh 275 at 12 p.m. Those are both going to be on Fox. Then for the NASCAR Cup Series, you have the, also Xfinity at 3:30 on the CW. I think Connor Zilich gets it done there. And then on Sunday at 2:30 on TNT, you have the NASCAR Cup Series race from Sonoma. I think it's going to be a fantastic race. Very excited to see that one here. Let me see. What is the name of the race? I actually can't find it. That's cute. No, the Save Mart 350. Oh, yeah, it's a Toyota Save Mart.
I'm pretty sure it's a Toyota thing, yeah.
Save Mart. All right. I think a Toyota's going to win. But either way, thank you for watching episode number 43 of the Flag to Flag podcast. We're going to wrap this up so Chad's phone doesn't die. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Flag to Flag podcast, and make sure to follow us everywhere at Flag to Flag podcast. TikTok, Facebook, doesn't matter where it is. On Instagram, we are at _Flag to Flag _ podcast. And as always, hold on.
No way. John has disappeared. He's back. Don't get my hopes up like that, man. Come on.
What?
I thought it was going to be a checkered flag.
No. We're going green.
We're green flagging the weekend. We're green flagging the weekend for some racing.
We are. Alrighty, folks. I'll see y'all next time. You got to pause it. I was going to keep on going until you pause it.
I've got to pause it?
Okay, I'll pause it. See you, folks. That was